Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Andrew from ProSpeed 212, and as the video title suggests, I'm going to be telling you 3 things I particularly hate about my Golf R. Number 1 of the 3 things I hate about my Golf R, and I'm going to demonstrate these 3 things rather than explain them to you. This is one road where what I'm just going to demonstrate as one of my hates does get picked up quite nice in this car. Because this road, I don't know if you can see the tarmac, it's got little ripples on it. And the car doesn't ride very nice on these. Because of the low profile tyres, it picks up all the little jiggly ripples and transmits them through the chassis, through the firm seat, straight into the driver. And it does tire you out. And this is a typical road of many in the UK that have this issue. I physically have to clench my teeth together to stop them chattering, because normally if you're sat relaxed in your car, your teeth are not quite touching. On that road they start to chatter together. So I actually have to physically grip my teeth. And that's not the only road. I go along the A4 towards Newbury, that's just as bad. And it's irritating. It's very rough on the body, very rough on the driver. It's just not a good ride. So I know that it's the Golf R, so it's got the firmer suspension, it's got low profile tyres. I get that, totally understand that. I race cars, so I'm all fully aware of firm suspension. But I had a Polo GTI before the Golf R, and the Polo GTI rode so much nicer than the Golf R does. It still handles superbly, the Polo GTI, but it didn't give you such a harsh ride that the Golf does. So I'm back on this road again. I just did a U-E on that roundabout. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I'm getting properly jiggled about on this road. When you're doing a short journey, no major issue. But if I'm travelling to a meeting, because I'd like to use my car rather than public transport, if I'm travelling to somewhere like Sheffield, 3.5 hour journey for a 2-hour meeting and then 3.5 hours back, by the time I get home in the evening, I'm actually shattered because the car has tired me out. Yet, if I do that journey in my BMW, which is just a 320D, I can get home and I feel as fresh as. The BMW is a proper marcher. So that's one area that the Golf does let you down. It's a harsh ride, which general day-to-day driving, not a major issue. But as a car for going on longer journeys, it just becomes a bit wearing, a bit uncomfortable. So that's one of my hates of my Golf R. The second of which is the adaptive cruise control. Now this is a bit of a double-edged sword, because in one area it's really good, but in another area it's not very nice at all. And that area is when you're on the actual motorway, which is when you should really be using cruise control. When you're cruising on the motorway, you want to set your cruise control at a certain speed and stick to that speed. But because this has got the adaptive cruise control with the little radar system, which is down in the front of the car, which detects cars in front, it sets your distance between you and the car in front. And although you do have an adjuster here, so you can adjust that for a slightly longer distance or slightly shorter, even the shortest distance is still quite a long distance between you and the car in front. So it can be a little frustrating in so much as other cars will pull in from the middle lane into the outside lane between you and the car in front. And then what will happen happen is my car will slow down and sometimes even brake, creating the gap again. And then that will continue, and on some journeys cars keep coming in because it's quite a big gap, even when you're trying to keep it as small as possible. As your speed increases, the gap increases, which I understand because you've got to have enough time to react and then brake. So it's a good safety feature, but it's just a little bit too long, the distance. And that can be quite frustrating when you're on a journey on the motorway. I was recently on the motorway for a couple of hours, had cruise control set, and cars continuously kept getting in between me and the car in front and then slowing me down, because my car will then slow down. And I was losing many places in the kind of the queue of cars in the outside lane trying to get past all the rest, because when you're in sort of a bit of rush hour traffic, there can quite often be quite a lot of cars on the motorway. So it's nice to be able to just follow the one in front rather than having cars keep jumping in front of you. So that can be quite frustrating for you when you're driving along in your Golf R. We've covered the jiggly suspension, and now we've covered the adaptive cruise control. And the third thing that is very, very annoying with my Volkswagen Golf R is the satellite navigation system. And it's actually not unique to my car. I've spoken to a few other Volkswagen owners, and they all have the same issue, in so much as you'll set your journey, and for some reason, obviously the journey, generally you're going along motorways before you then get close to your destination and you come off the road. But for some reason, I'll be going along the motorway, and then my sat-nav will suggest I come off the motorway, go through a town, and then join the motorway about 5 miles down the road. Wastes me 20 minutes of my journey time. Recently, I went to Gloucester, coming from Reading Way, along the M4, got on the A361, I think it was, which is a dual carriageway, quite a nice, fast dual carriageway. And then, for some strange reason, my satellite navigation system decided I should go through Swindon, so take a little detour down through Swindon, and then join back on the A361 about 5 miles away. Because I actually knew where I was going, I thought, well, that's strange. Quickly checked the traffic. There was no traffic jam on the A361, so I stayed on it. And the start, when I started the journey, it said I was going to be there at 12:30. And because I actually didn't do this little detour through Swindon town and back out again, as I was going along, the satellite navigation system said recalculating route, and then once it recalculated, it then said, oh, destination will be now 12:15. So I saved 15 minutes of my journey time by not taking the detour, and that's not the only time. So it's now got to the point where I actually do not trust my sat-nav, my inbuilt sat-nav in my car, which is a real shame, because part of the reason of buying a new car was it had inbuilt sat-nav rather than having to stick a Garmin or whatever onto the screen. So now I don't trust it. So now whenever I'm doing a journey, I have a look on Google Maps beforehand just to check to say exactly where I'm going, so I kind of got a good idea. But you shouldn't have to do that. That's not the idea. And I've had other cars with inbuilt sat-navs, and they work fine, absolutely fine. Now I know there are various settings in the sat-nav, and I probably make comments saying, well, yeah, you can have fast route, avoid motorway route, avoid toll roads, you can have a scenic route. But I've got it set on the fastest, most direct route, and it still does it. It still decides occasionally to take me on a detour. So that's very, very frustrating. So those are my three main hates of the Golf R. And those are my hates of the Golf R. I mean, other than that, the car is absolutely fantastic. So many thanks for watching, and if you found this video of interest, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. There are many, many more videos coming. It's a continual thing. I'm going to be progressing the channel. There's going to be more car reviews. There's a lot more about my racing, and there's going to be tuned as we go forward.